Well, this is today's little mowing project. Got to mow this little spot right here, and if I remember correctly, I think it's dead on 1 acre. And the property line goes pretty much right next to that tree on this side of it, right through there, and then goes all the way down. So it's just a nice little square here, and I believe it's dead on 1 acre. And the best thing that I have found to mow this grass in here, and I've tried a bush hog and I brought the skid steer over here, but ever since we got this zero turn and I brought it over here, this thing right here is a beast. I love this thing. I call it the green monster. And if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, this is a John Deere Z930M 60-inch cut, and I love this mower. I'm not saying it's the best mower on the market because I've never run any other zero turn outside of my brother's little my brother has a little time cutter. It's like I think a Toro, and I didn't really like that thing that much. So Kelly and I went and got this thing to mow for a couple properties that we have and just stuff around the house, and this thing has just been awesome. I love it. I highly recommend it if you're in the market for a mower, doing, you know, work like, you know, small commercial work or stuff like that. If you have a landscaping company, this thing is just, it's awesome. I've done jobs with this thing that you would actually go take like a small bush hog to, that I've done with this thing, because it's just super powerful. And it has a 25.5 horsepower engine in it, John Deere engine, and it kicks butt and it goes. So it's really comfortable. It's got a nice, really comfortable, it's got this Comfort Glide seat on it, which is super comfy. It kind of bounces around, but that's actually kind of the way it's designed to kind of, it's almost like an air ride, I guess you could say. And it's super responsive, very quick, tons of power, you know, to cut just about damn near anything. So I've been really happy with this mower since we've only got about 30 hours on it. We don't use it a whole lot. Kelly really likes it for some stuff around the house at the farm, and it knocks that stuff out pretty quick. So I can do this 1 acre lot with this thick, like road ryegrass, whatever this stuff is, fescue grass, I don't know what it's called. I'm not a grass turf expert, but this stuff is thick and it's gnarly. I can do this lot in about 35 to 40 minutes. 1 acre of mowing. So yeah, so you guys got any questions about this thing, hit me in the comments, but I love it. So we're gonna hop on here and knock this thing out. I might strap on the head cam and see if that works. There's no real good place for me to mount the little magnet that I have. You know, like I've tried to mount it up there and it just doesn't really work. So we'll check out the head cam and see if that works. I don't know, it might be too bumpy, I don't know. This ground in here is pretty bumpy. It's got some holes and it just kind of goes all over the place. It's not very smooth, but we'll get it done. Let's hop to it. well, that's done. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be anything like front yard quality. It just has to be mowed down. And so I set that thing at about 3.5 inches for the height, which is a kind of about bush hog height, and just went. And it did struggle a little bit more this time around than the last time I was here. I think the main reason had to do with the blades. The blades are dull, and I noticed that before I got here. I checked them out, and I can't get in there to show you, but they're dull. I did a 5-acre mowing job with this thing about a month and a half ago, and it was all stuff, it was all grass just like this. And I did that in about 5.5 hours. This thing made really good time on that job, but I think the blades kind of got it pretty good on that job. Like, I didn't really hit anything. They're not chipped or dented or anything like that. They're just, they get dull in this grass. And we have really sandy soil here. You can see it's just nothing but like basically beach sand. So as that mower is going along, it's kicking up all that sand, and it's just like going, you know, those blades like going through sandpaper, and it just wears them down. So especially now, because it's really dusty out and dry. So we haven't had rain in a few days. So, but even with all that, you know, dull blades and all that, this thing still kicked ass. I still did this in about 40 minutes, a whole acre in here. So you know, of really thick, rough, you know, thick grass in here. So I'm pretty happy with that production. I can't complain. This lot is a bit, I try to be careful with this lot. So like when I came through here, I'm kind of blowing my clippings through the first 3 passes through here back this way, because I don't want to kick anything out into the road out there. Same thing up there on that end, you know. And so that means I have to, when I come back through and make another pass, I'm running over my old clippings, which kind of puts a little more strain on it. It doesn't cut quite as easily, but I'd rather put a little more strain on the mower than not, you know, have to kick anything out into the road. So if anything, I'll try to be as safe, do this as safe as possible anytime I'm mowing or doing anything like that. But this is a lot easier coming in here. Like, I cut this one time, like the first time I ever cut this, I cut this with a 30 horsepower Kubota the farm tractor that we have with the bush hog on the back. 30 horsepower with a bush hog, and it took me about 4 hours in this thick grass, and this thing does it in about 40 minutes. So even when it does struggle, it's way faster than the bush hog, and even the MTL really struggles in this kind of grass. Like, it would cut them bushes down with like no problem, but you get it in this thick grass and it just balls up underneath the cutter and everything. I think the best time I've got in here with the MTL is like somewhere between 1.5 hours and 2 hours, I think, something like that. So even with that thing as powerful as it is, it takes a while in this kind of thick grass. So this is the best thing I've found. Dull blades or not, it don't matter. It just kicks ass and keeps going. So I've been really happy with this cutter, and it's pretty efficient on fuel. I filled it up, completely filled it up, topped it off before I got here, and I mean, I didn't even burn a quarter tank. So really happy with the fuel. I think when I did that 5-hour mowing job, I think I burnt 3/4 of a tank or so, somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4, if I remember correctly. I didn't have to refill it. I did that whole job 5 hours straight in thick grass like this, full throttle, and I didn't even go through a whole tank of fuel. So this thing actually gets really good on fuel as well. So, and I put non-ethanol in this. I don't put any kind of ethanol gas in these engines. They told us that it can run ethanol fuel, but I don't mess with that. I pay a little extra. I think the non-ethanol I bought today was like $3.50 something, $3.70 something a gallon. So it was a little pricey, but it's worth it to put in these engines. So that's that. Nice little Monday project. Stay tuned, because I got a like I said, we're going back out to the snake farm, or the snake pond project, to do a big bush hogging job out there. I'll be doing that tomorrow. I texted the owner a little while ago, told him I was heading out there tomorrow to do that. He said cool. So supposed to have a nice dry week this week up until I think about Saturday or Sunday. So it should be nice and dry this week for me able to get some stuff done. So I'm gonna load this thing up. and we are gonna get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the little cutting video. I tried to get as much of the time lapse as I could, but it's so hot out here. The GoPro, even in the shade, kept cutting off. And I saw Brandon with Elite Earthworks was having that same problem the other day out where he's at, having the GoPros shut off in the heat. When they get overheated, they cut off so they don't damage themselves, and then you don't know that it even cut itself off. So oh well, I got what I could. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. More stuff to come. Stay tuned, and I will catch you guys later. Hope you have a great week. Bye everybody.